everyone, it's Yingsu here, and I'm joined by Mystic from Fnatic. First of all, Mystic, congratulations, a 5-0 season, a 10-0 year in VCT regular season. That's got to feel good to achieve, right?
Yeah, it's nice. The fact that we were able to go undefeated. I mean, it's not the first time for a couple of us, but it's also a nice feeling to be back on top. Especially going away from the first Masters with these circumstances. It's nice to be back on the top and looking hot again.
I gotta say though, the fashion in which you guys got your 5-0 today was not what I expected. I think a lot of people probably thought that you were either going to close it out 2-0 or at least struggle a little bit less. And there was definitely a few things that you guys were doing and mistakes that you were making, like getting the defuse being stuck on you 3 times on Icebox that we've never seen before. We haven't seen you guys do this before. So what happened today? Was it anything that was kind of off on your end?
I think it was a mixture of wanting to test new things in this match because the match really didn't have any major effect on the results. So yeah, we wanted to make sure that we were using our comms, our main comms. We wanted to stay comfortable with our comms, but also like testing new things and see how things went. And I think this led to there being a little bit of high stress situations because it's everything, like things were new to players and each other. So yeah, a lot of mistakes caused, but it's like we're here to test things, and improve. So it's good that these things happen, so we can make sure that we fix them in the upcoming games.
In the past, you guys have always had periods of just completely dominating the scene, but then when you start losing, it does feel like things goes from bad to worse. It's like you guys snowball your victories, and then somehow if you lose 1 or 2 games, it kind of snowballs worse. How do you guys prepare to prevent this from happening? Because obviously you're 1 game away from making playoffs, and as you have learned from Iceland, getting seed 1 is hella important right now at international tournament. So how do you prevent yourselves from snowballing yourselves into a loss streak?
Yeah, I think it's not only down to us putting a lot more hard work in making sure that we have fundamental, like some structure to fall back on. Because when you have this structure, I guess leaves less room for errors. Because everyone could just stick to like a certain like script and be more understanding of what's going on. But I think we also have approached the season strongly when it comes to like our mentality and like that sort of aspect of the game. So like we have a performance coach, Marcus, making sure that like we're on top of, like we're just basically zoned in, and like we notice that when players might be feeling a bit like off or whatever, like that, and you might feel like you're out of the game, and you just like try and snap back in. So I think when it comes to us snowballing like in a good way and then snowballing in a bad way, I think we're definitely just trying to work on that and try and make sure that it only happens in a good way.
it,
Yeah.
it is the Fnatic syndrome, I feel like
Mm.
sometimes. And speaking of the Fnatic syndrome, you are once again the favorites. You kind of go through, you're the underdogs, and then you're the favorites, and then you're the underdog. We're currently in your favorite phase. So
Yeah.
much so that, analysts and players and fans, even from other regions, are basically saying, like, oh, they're going to be the team to beat at Copenhagen. You haven't even made it to Copenhagen yet, and people are already making those comments.
It happens all the
Yeah.
time. It's like when we're winning, everyone's a supporter. When we lose 1 game, everyone's a hater. Fnatic's downfall, they're terrible, make change, whatever. But yeah, no, it's it's fun to be a part of. Yeah, and the fact that teams look at us that way, it's also nice because like, not it's nice to hear, but like we're here to win trophies, so we're not gonna try as hard as we are now until it's all done.
Is that a degree of pressure though? Because, the first ever tournament that you guys entered back at Reykjavik last year, people were kind of, yeah, they're good, but we're not quite sure. And I know you guys really thrived on that narrative of, well, if other people don't think we're good, that's fine because we think we're great. But now everybody thinks you're good. So if you don't actually go on to win trophies, would you be disappointed with that?
I mean, if we don't win trophies, regardless, I think we'll be disappointed, because that's what we're here to do. We're here to win trophies. But the fact that everyone's thinking like so highly of us right now, it's a weird one. I think we've seen it before where we came away last year from doing so well at the first international event, and then we kind of like flopped in the upcoming event, um, because all the eyes were on us. But yeah, it's happened in Valorant before. We've seen it with Ascend, coming straight from champions and then bottling out like within the group stages like straight after. So it's easy to get to the top, but it's hard to stay there. But whilst we're on the upcoming, like we're on the up, we're on the up. I think we just gotta make sure that we keep our head in the game and make sure that we're just focusing on what we can focus on and not let the things out of our control get in the way.
When it comes to playoffs, you guys already seen the bracket, I'm sure, and you have Liquid and FPX, I believe, on your side of the bracket. What do you make of that and those two teams as an opponent?
It's exciting. I rate highly of both of the teams. I mean, Liquid have shown a good showing as well on their side of the group, and obviously we played FPX at the start of these group stages, and they managed to take a map away from us. And I believe if they weren't on if they were on their game and we were playing how we were, I think we could possibly have lost that matchup. But yeah, we managed to put it away. So we'll be preparing as hard as we did before in all our recent games as we would for them too.
Of course, three teams go this time, same as Iceland. Which other two teams do you feel like should be joining you? Honestly, I read this on Twitter today that Fnatic never goes to an international event without Liquid, so I feel like they're gonna somehow make it. But yeah, who do you think is making it?
I really don't want them to make it because so we can have the throne of going to the most international events from EMEA. But
Oh.
nah, but they're my boys as well, so I still want them to come. So I I would say that obviously we will qualify, and I want Gil to qualify because they've had a good run on their side of the bracket, and it would be nice to see them at an international event. And then for the last set of people, I don't know, it would be nice to see like Mech like finally turn it around or something like that, or of course like the Liquid guys coming through.
We got some quite good teams, I feel like, from our region.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know if you've been watching any of the other regions. Do you have any views and thoughts on what's been happening across the globe, I guess?
I've been watching NA mainly. I haven't really paid attention to the other regions, but like what's going over there is just it's a weird one because like I'm seeing like EG like taking like the win against like Optic, and I'm like, what? How's this happen? And then just like yeah, like you know, it's like all a little bit of a mix up. But then like I also see that their like base standard of like gameplay is pretty high, and like I'd say like nearly probably on par with EU right now. So it would be nice to see that match up again at LAN. Ugh. I hate this NAEU like persona thing. It's funny.
You have to play into it. I feel like you have to play
Yeah,
into it.
yeah,
Meanwhile, yeah, we're doing this, and APAC are just like slowly killing all of us,
yeah.
like without us knowing. Do you when you do watch other regions, do you ever, I guess, steal stuff from them? Is there anything that ever makes you feel like we should be maybe playing the game that specific way, or do you feel like the game that's being played right now in EMEA is the best possible way to approach Valorant?
I think, yeah, I think EMEA has a very strong way of approaching Valorant. I think our like level of practice is quite high as it is, so we come up against these teams and we learn new things as well, like at a very fast pace, as as I think like teams in other regions do. So I think like we're developing like by playing having good practice, whereas like the other teams are like trying to be like initiate like innovative, I'd say, and then they bring new things. So it's always good to like watch these new regions because you do get ideas. Like watching Valorant in any of these regions is a nice way to generate these ideas. And I think I think for us we just have two great minds, Boaster and Mini. So they have a good way of they have a good way of like picking these ideas apart and then like implementing it into our own style of play. So yeah.
I bet Minnie was stressed today.
To be honest, I think there was a time where he said he would have called a timeout, but he wanted to see how we would play under how stressful we were in the moment because like we were in like this new like environment testing new thing. So it was kind of funny. I think he was just laid back with like probably feet up on his chair, like up at his table, just like, yeah, no, whatever.
That
Boys, you got it.
is that is so sadistic. It's like I could call timeout, but I'll just watch.
Yeah, I
I'll just
know, I know.
listen. Yeah.
He said that after the game, and I was like, oh, great, thanks, man.
And speaking of Mini and all of the strats, lastly, of course, we hear the memes of Durka go kill, Alpha go kill. Where does Mystic come into this? How would you name the Mystic strat?
Just be a, just, I don't know, support. Either support for the the Durka go kill and Alpha go kill. I don't know. I think my time will come. I think I personally have been like not performing to my best of my ability, but I think I'm doing a good enough job to keep us up there. So yeah, just keep on doing what I'm doing, and then hopefully all springs into play.
Mystic go trade. There you go.
Yeah,
I got you.
trade. Yeah, that's perfect. My trade percentage. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much for joining me, Mystic, and we'll see you at playoffs.
Thank you, Jinsu.